What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for watching this episode. We had an issue with the audio. We're still learning it just a little bit. So please forgive the audio quality. Next week is going to be way, way better, we promise. We've gotten moved into a new house with a recording studio, and so all these bugs should just be ironed out nice and neat. So please, enjoy the episode. Thank you, guys.
Hi everybody, we're back to topic 2 of the week. Thank you for joining us here on Study Hall here on UFSU University. My name is Tam, this is Barrett, your reigning U.S. national champion. I want to give a quick shout out to Will, I forget the last name, I think Stoll. Will Stoll on Patreon for giving us this topic. It is, he wants us to build characters and under unique different symbols. The 4 characters he gave us were Cassie Cage, Lord Raptor 2, Akuma 2, and we picked Faye as the 4th one. And so we're going to go ahead and move on to Lord Raptor 2. Lord Raptor has got some super... if you want to add your topic to the show, go out patreon.com/tcuniversity to guarantee it. Or, yeah, under Akuma? Or calm down. We're past it.
It's not. Why does he speak
Under patreon.com/tcuniversity to help support the show. Also, shout out to Jasper for the cool banner. Or tablecloth. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about Lord Raptor 2. What does Lord Raptor 2 want to do? Like, what's his game plan?
Flash. He wants to play flash attacks, but at the same time, very Shadow Man-esque. He wants to stay one step ahead of your opponent in foundations, or punish your opponent by committing them. So the biggest thing to do here is to force your opponent to commit cards so that you can get away with playing like a poke attack and debuilding them one. I think that's where I've kind of seen him shine, is flash is a keyword that, when I started playing the game, was very irrelevant. People were trying to make it work because avoiding the enhanced step is very strong. But your responsibilities on play have never really been strong enough, or you had to commit so many cards in your deck to the flash mechanic that your defense was atrocious. And so you either just got backswung really hard, or you couldn't even kill people to begin with because it didn't do enough.
Yeah.
Then Shadow Man came out, and we got Shadow Blade Shuriken, Impulsive. We gained Spike 2 cards that allowed you to kick more cards from your card pool, so you could get away with playing like flash attacks followed by a non-flash attack, and kicking the flash attack and doing other cool things, or assassination attempt in like Shadow Man and doing stuff like that. And in fact, the Shadow Man also did Foundation Destruction. People tried that out, but again, it was not relevant enough, nor did we really have a competitive format to really give it a shot. And then Bebop came out, and then flash attacks were so irrelevant because the game was over so fast. But at the same time, if you play a very long game, flash can't compete.
Absolutely.
There was not enough in-game for flash to compete. And so now we have this really cool point where, well, Lord Raptor, because he wants to destroy 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 foundations every turn, we get to play this early to mid-range part of the game
Always.
a little bit longer. I don't know about always.
Always.
But a little bit longer.
We're playing self-destruct, dudes.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Probably 97.
So that means you don't care if you don't have deadlock stuff. We're not going to go.
We're not going to get there.
We're not going to get there. I'm not going to let you go to deadlock. But that's kind of what keeps it in the game. And if your opponent is constantly going to have to replenish these foundations, they also have to also be relevant. Like, you can't just play foundations, let some of them get blown up, keep playing foundations. Like, eventually you're going to run out of the good stuff if you try and do this game plan for so long. And I think each of his symbols do something a little bit different.
I totally agree. I think
Fire's a weird one.
I want to talk about fire last. I actually have to do research
Okay.
on fire. I'm going to talk about death first. Death is the build that I have currently, and it is honestly just toolbox the deck. I'm playing all of his attacks at like a 3 or more of, and then I'm playing 4 Azuna drop just because I want the guaranteed damage. It's a beautiful poke and then build card. It's momentum denial, or they take a bunch of damage. Like it's easily for like 8 damage.
When you hit Desperation and you have a Showtime on the board and you respond with Lord Raptor and you always give it damage because it's a throw, the thing's for like 13, which means they're taking 7 at least, unless they have this really cool card like Demon Realm Awakening
Right.
or Prepare to Fight or whatever. But like catching them without that, especially like really early in the game, and you getting to Desperation is not too hard. It's only 10 Vitality. Yeah, it can really mess up some people, or just you know like you don't get to play Oath against that card. So like there is no enhanced tap. That's always been one of the biggest perks about it.
I think the biggest issue is so as we're playing Death, like the coolest thing that you get is you get access to all of the Death. Stop. Don't play the game.
Yeah, the oppressive, securing his destiny, demanding submission,
Home for Spiders and Dragons.
bang,
Bang.
like which you obviously exclusively use on your opponent's turn, and then sometimes it's 3 more damage for you. But like
That's killed so many people in the Flash deck. It is
Yeah.
nuts. How just people. I wasn't allowed to interact with that one, so I couldn't block it. Well, you couldn't block it, so burn 3. I'll draw 1.
right, so having access to all that, Hunt for Spiders and Dragons, like we can keep going. Like there's so many of them that you're either response on plays or responding to say no to their stuff. Dark Emperor, I don't even know if that's in your deck.
It is not in my deck.
But like there's a ton. You can keep going. Like, and so you have not only an uninteractive turn because all of your cards don't have enhanced steps. You're trying to make your opponent's turn as disrupted as possible.
Absolutely.
And I think that's kind of the biggest point of the deck. And at the same time, on your turn, you're trying to debuild them, keep them in the game, which is very strong too because a lot of your death responses are destroy or remove or things like that. So it kind of keeps that even playing field. You described the death symbol earlier on last week's video of like 1 step ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord Raptor makes that even a little bit further, and then your destroy cost doesn't matter as much anymore. So I think that's the really coolest part that I've noticed with the death deck.
I agree.
Which is really interesting too, because like air is like if you ask anybody like the far superior flash symbol, you would say.
And I actually think it's going to be better for this deck. I just wanted. I haven't played like a.
It's a very TAM way to play the deck. Absolutely.
Air.
Yeah. No, the death one.
Death
The
one? Yeah,
absolutely.
Death is very much how I want
You
to
still
play
have
it.
like Design for Combat, Balance Fighter, and things like
And
that.
I love those two fucking cards.
Yeah, I know you do.
I think they're actually both at Boros. Exclusively because of the cool interactions with Healed by a Shaman and
Leg Shredder.
Leg Shredder.
And I think, or not even the other one, the Foundation. Enhance, Flip, ready a Death Foundation, or sorry, Enhance, Flip, ready a Death Foundation is not ready this turn.
That and Healed by a Shaman is nutty too.
Yeah, so like
I can put like 12 copies of that card.
Yeah, exactly. You can on your opponent's turn, you have a garbage hand because you went in on them or something.
I'll pick up
On their first attack, respond, Healed by a Shaman. Pick up the block that I need for this. Hey,
Sweet Chainsaw music. Hey, I'm about to get a bunch more attacks next turn.
Oh, we're on your enhanced step. Enhanced Flip already to Healed by a Shaman.
I'll block with it.
Block. Play your next attack. Oh, you played it? Respond. Oh, Breaker 2.
Yeah.
Respond on your next attack. Pick up the next block that I need. Oh, we'll pick up the 0 mid block because it's really easy to play.
Like that's another reason like why the deck honestly is so potent, because a lot of flash decks because they don't have like
That defense power I was talking about at the beginning.
that
Yeah.
they also don't have any draw power on their turn. Like flash decks don't have any draw power.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no respond draw a card. Everything's always enhance, pay 3, enhance, desperation,
Yeah.
flip.
Shadowblade Shuriken is the closest one, and you have to be playing a deck that can kick it from the card pool.
Yeah, and
Which
so-
is like Shadowman.
So with the limitations of this singular flash deck under these 3 symbols, being able to kick and add a flash attack back to your hand, it's I think that little bit of draw power actually put flash deck over the edge, because that little combo like has to be in every deck, every single flash deck. When we move on to air's got a bunch of different options, just because like
Is that a low attacks that it has? I think it's very relevant to talk about.
we've got Quickman in the meta, we've got Lord Raptor, we've got Mishka, we've got Shadow Man, who all on their character cards say
Have
the
air.
word flash.
And air.
And air, yeah. They say the word flash and they have air. So like
Yes.
air is the obvious, just like with Akuma yesterday's episode, we evil's the obvious symbol just because of how strong the cards are. I think air is the obvious symbol here, just because of the toolkit that we get that interacts with the flash. When you go and you look at Mishka's kit is disgusting. It's gnarly. It is
Yeah.
incredibly powerful. Could you like Flash Raptor when you get a singular mind trigger out, it says all of your attacks have 2 speed and 1 damage. If you have one mind trigger out.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to fail Raptor's response. You cannot fail it as soon as you have a single mind trigger out.
That's right,
I
because
play
you
the
play
card,
the card and you made a check.
And I make a check.
Yeah.
Now I respond to the Raptor and remove.
Yeah, that's the hardest part about being really aggressive in the beginning of the game with Lord Raptor, is like, let's say you only like built 2 or 3 in the beginning of your turn, and you didn't review, so you only have 3 cards in your discard pile, but you have the ability to play 3 attacks. You have an empty discard pile at that point. Which means Healed by a Shaman is not as good, and Sweet Chainsaw Music is not live. So like, it's one of those things.
You also get access to like really cool cards like Unlikely Allies, which you don't get the enhanced check of 5, but you do get to cancel things like Reversal or Princess Parry or things that matter.
I think under Air you also get to kind of put a more defensive playstyle in the deck, not so much as the Death Way, but like readying foundations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Enhancing on Unite on your opponent's turn defensively seems really strong to ready cards. Enhancing on man. I just looked at the card and I'm so upset that I walked away from it. Things like Dust in the Wind, Ophidiophobia on defense, Pull Demodogen on defense.
You get a bunch of really cool cards from Quick Man, like 88 miles an hour.
God of Thunder on defense, like stuff like that. Like, it makes the foundation ready kind of thing be really cool.
Form Destroy, discard the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 flash attack, discard it this way to your hand.
Oh yeah, 88.
Yeah, 88 miles an hour is nuts. Always on the move.
You're not really competing with any other 3-hit spots, so like...
The only one that I can really think of is...
Mass Assassin?
I don't actually like Mass Assassin in him just because I don't want to be a Desperation. Like,
Sure.
I don't want to be. With Vega or some other character like that, I want to be a Desperation.
Yeah.
But the only
yeah,
reason it's in my deck currently is because I'm playing Vega in the sideboard.
Yeah,
That's it.
and I think, you know, you can also play like Bloody High Claw and him under these 2 symbols that we're talking about.
Totally.
And his other one, which also has Desperation on it, so like, you can synergize with it. I think it's very interesting to talk about that when we get to Fire, but we'll worry about that in a later bit. Yeah, I think, but like, Swordfish 2 for an extra defense piece under both of these symbols. We don't really talk about it, but I think the readying foundation thing is actually really cool about this. Because Leg Shredder, so the important thing about Leg Shredder is that it's has not been ready, correct?
It does not have that clause, correct?
So, when we play cards like Unite or God of Thunder on our opponent's turn, this Healed by a Shaman response that we keep talking about, you have so many cards in your deck that allow you to re-enable it.
Yeah.
So you have God of Thunder your opponent's cards, or during your opponent's turn, Unite during your opponent's turn.
Like, I'm just looking through all of Mishka's stuff. It's like Mind Trigger is insane because of +1 damage. It's response check of 4. After play a flash attack, you have +1 damage.
Oh, we forgot to mention, the other reason why the like death build is so oppressive and like the saying no to your opponent's stuff, because you get securing his destiny and his unique Showtime, which is securing his destiny by removing a flash attack from the game from your discard pile.
And I think Strength in Numbers is surprisingly good. Because I can response after you play an attack, you get 1 damage for every 2 foundations in my opponent's staging area. The way that you beat Lord Raptor is you outbuild him.
Yeah.
Is you just build and build and build and build. And then Strength in Numbers says, hey, eventually this Azuna drop's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Eventually this Azuna drop's going to be so big.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
I'm going to respond with 3 Strength in Numbers. And it also has respond commit after you play an attack, change its zone. So if there's any way that I get to peek at your hand, like any way at all, I can change the zone or whatever I want.
Yeah, absolutely. We did mention it at 1.2 under Air. You can do the, and I mentioned it briefly at the beginning. You can do the all low attack flash deck.
Yeah.
Which is very good for the reason of avoiding Flame Aura.
And like, your opponent has 2 cards in their hand.
How many of them are lows?
How many of them are lows? And so you never have to waste Lord Raptor doing speed.
Ever.
It's always damage.
Especially like Wolfbane. I don't really like that card, but in Lord Raptor it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Like if it's blocked, you ready when Aster Foundation has not been ready this turn. Another way to ready Healed by a Shaman.
It is another way to ready heal by a Shaman.
Which is a 1 low for 5, which is a 1 low for 7.
Which is a 1 low for +X because of how many mind triggers I have.
Right. We're already playing his Ultra Rare, 6 low for 6. We're already playing Stinging, I don't know.
Strike, singing.
Something like His 4-diff, 4 low for 4.
Yeah, the nuts one.
Yeah, if you block it, commit 1. If you don't, I think you just play this all low deck, and then you just put in Leg Shredder. Because its removability is nuts. It allows you to keep going. There's other ones, aren't there? Aren't I missing one? There's the one that says if you blocked it or whatever.
Kneecapper. Kneecapper says if you block it, it discards itself from the card pool.
Bear's Bite, after you play this attack, your next splash attack gets 2 damage.
It's a 3-diff. So is Kneecapper.
Yeah.
Kneecapper's also a 3-diff. So like your difficulty curve is banana sandwich in this.
Bear's
deck.
Bite, 0 mid block for your Breaker 2.
Yep.
You already
So
have your Ultra Rare for Breaker 2 on a 0 mid. His attacks are the Leg Shredder's at 2 high, the other one's at 2 low.
Like you play Leg Shredder exclusively just to ready cards. You don't even
Yeah,
want to
exactly.
or
You don't even
block
want
with
to slam it. Yeah.
You don't even want to play it as an attack unless you absolutely need to. But like the
Alright,
other
what's
the other
the
thing
other
we
one?
can do with this deck like is
What's the block on the other one you said? I can't remember.
which one?
The one that clears.
It's a high block.
Okay.
Yeah. If we wanted to play like some real man mode stuff, we play the other one, Concussion Blast, which has the same static of if it's blocked, it leaves.
The 2
but
check.
it's 8 damage.
Yeah.
Which means that it's 10 damage, or it's just really fast and has 8 damage.
Yeah, and like so that all low attack one is kind of more like a tech. I think like a tech choice in the meta,
Yeah.
essentially. Like if you can just overwhelm your opponent with all these low attacks, as well as still having access to those very good defensive pieces that you now have playing Lord Raptor 2, that's kind of where you get to going.
So, as we were doing this stuff, I was looking at fire and what like fire brings to the table as it comes to like.
I actually, while we've been talking,
Yeah.
know a very good idea on why the fire deck might actually work as well.
Okay.
And the best thing I have for the fire deck is under fire we get access to things like Full Scale Storyteller, will allow us to build more foundations when we want to go in to be more aggressive, as well as milling more cards to our discard pile. Under fire, we still get to play obviously his Ultra Rare, which has Desperation on it,
Totally.
and then we also get access to Undying Rage, the rare foundation
Yeah.
from Scorpion, and you get that under Death as well. But because the Death deck does not focus around or even use other milling cards during your opponent's turn, we can selectively stack our discard piles by milling more cards by using like defense abilities such as like Feng Shui 101. And if we can get our Ultra on top of our discard pile, we can pick it up. Which is it's a really cheeky interaction, but I think it works. Like I think you can do it. It's just a small thing because we get to add this kind of like mill mechanic to the fire build. You could also just like run Punch and Judy for 6 checks and use them strictly defensively, which would be a really cool way to do it, I guess. But it might clog up your deck.
So like the main thing I'm seeing is like how hyper aggressive can we be? We get to play things, and our attacks. We get to play things. I just had. Where were you? Not over yet. Seems really good. Playing that 6 diff at the end of a chain on an actual 6 seems incredibly strong.
Your favorite one, Jagged Barrage.
I think Jagged Barrage is actually nuts in that deck because it's 6 unblockable damage. If you go second, or you go first, or sorry, it's only 4 unblockable damage. You're not gonna get the damage pump.
Yeah, with Genocide Vulcan looks hype.
Yes, that card is actually insane.
Because you can use that. Oh, it's static, so it happens first no matter what.
Yes.
And then you can respond to a Raptor because you have all
Yes.
those cards. You get 1 damage for each unique control value among the cards discarded this way.
And it's a 2, so if you mill it and a 3, 4, 5, it just gets 4 damage for free.
Like most commonly, what 2, 3,
And
5
then-
maybe.
Yeah.
So then it's a 3 low for 7, and then you can just give it 2 damage with Raptor because it's a low. Again, catch them with these lows.
Yep.
And so it's a 3 low for 9, 4 diff.
We get to play fun stuff like out of your league, or like we could just play some like really fun burn stuff.
What was the other one? I had a really. Oh, you ready?
Yeah.
Tech Sphere. We actually just get to take advantage of.
Why?
Doesn't Tech Sphere say enhance copy a card in your remove from game pile that's not Tech Sphere and it gains all keywords?
Yes. So it will gain flash.
And then we go to it.
It doesn't. No. It doesn't. It does. Does it? Yeah, it does. It super
totally
does.
does.
It definitely does.
So the only thing you don't get out of Tech Sphere is you don't get to respond on play with like
Raptor.
With Raptor, but it means that you can get away with copying or removing attacks later on in the game, and it matters.
Yeah.
Um,
The other option, honestly, is you don't have to play exclusively flash attacks in this deck.
correct.
To destroy a foundation, you have to play a flash attack, but he actually gives 2 or 2 on anything you want.
Oh,
So,
really? Oh,
yeah.
so we can still do it with Tech
We
Sphere.
can still do it with Tech Sphere.
Are you sure?
I'm-
That doesn't seem right.
I'm positive. I'm positive.
Stand by.
Podcast has stopped.
Stand by. I mean, we don't want dead air, but like,
Yeah.
I did think
So
you
like,
said that.
so like, here's the thing about
Oh my gosh, you're right.
here's the thing about Lord Raptor. Jake Johnson was playing this character in the draft, and he would play a bunch of cool flash attacks, and at the end of his chain, he would play the kin attack that gets plus X damage, X
For
equals
each
to
removed
remove
attack.
attack, and then he just give it 2 speed, and at the end of the chain, I couldn't fucking block that thing. It was for 1,000,000. And that's how he killed my
Yeah.
Morgan deck.
Okay, so then in that scenario, I think the Tech Sphere thing is way better.
Yeah.
Um,
Or, I don't know, maybe randomly we would just play Missile Launcher. Like, I can remove 2 cards, ready stuff with...
Mill 4 for the rest of my attacks.
Yeah, like, it's a beautiful launching attack. Like,
I like the Tech Sphere idea a little bit more because it means we can get away with like playing Marshall Banana still.
Yeah.
And we like, all right, here on this attack, commit for 5 damage. Now I'll give it flash. Here we go.
yep. Hey.
Like you get one enhanced instead. This enhanced step. It's just as good as playing Mutual Respect.
There's a, hold on, I'm actually gonna double check something before we...
Are you sure?
jump
I'm pretty
into
sure
more.
this is right. I don't.
There is a... I have to...
Glimmer of Doubt.
There is a glimmer of doubt. I have to read a card called Quick Boomerang. So give me just 1 second.
All right, Hype under fire. We get Air. We get Ancestral Quiver, and I bypassed that one.
Ancestral Quiver.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
What? Says when they want to block.
So Quick Boomerang says, after you play this attack's powerful ability, it gains flash, and no more enhanced abilities can be played this enhanced step. So and that is the most current printing. If the flash keyword worked that way, they would not have put that. So giving something flash, I bet the
That's
way that it
lame.
works is the game looks for the flash as soon as it's played.
I'd have to look at what the LGR says.
Yeah, but
yeah,
so
I
take that
guess
with a grain of salt. We might have to actually do
Man.
some research.
That's a little lame.
We don't have any of our NASA nerds here in order to look it up.
Man, okay, that's a little rough.
Yeah.
So I guess then the coolest thing you can do with Tech Sphere is like copy your sweet chainsaws that are removed, and then at the end of the turn you can still respond, right?
Nope, because Tech Sphere's abilities fall off. What
After
you,
it resolves, or
what?
after it resolves?
Yeah, yeah, after it resolves, it loses everything.
Okay, so then we can copy the 4 div, the 4 level 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so now it's like a whatever 4 mid for
Yeah,
5 that burns it for 2. Maybe commits the card. Yeah, it's not that great anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. The fire symbol is so weird. Like you get access to like Jagged Barrage. Colt 45 is a weird one. The other one that we talked about. It's just such a weird symbol to give it.
The attacks do not make up for the foundations that you're losing. Jagged Barrage is neato, but it's not good enough. Colt 45 is
What are
neato.
the really big ones that you're losing?
A Zuna drop, you're losing an entire low package.
Yeah.
And the fire symbol does not want to flash. The fire symbol wants to play very cool, gnarly, big damage enhances.
Yeah.
It does not want to flash.
Yeah.
Lord Raptor's cool. Try him under fire if you really want to have fun. But, and in a competitive scene, I'm not positive you can make it work. But man, Jagged Barraging somebody is gonna feel great. It's gonna feel spectacular.
It's a little rough on if you go second or whatever.
Hey man, you go second. They build. They build their 4 on turn 1, right?
Yeah.
You just slam that thing down for fucking 4 damage.
Yeah, but you can't buff it up. That's my
That's
problem.
okay. That's okay. It's
No,
4
that's not-
unblockable.
that's not
It's 4
okay.
blockable. That it doesn't remove itself, right?
I don't know.
It also is a 1 mid block with Breaker 1. So in Raptor, it's got Breaker 3. So like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
That's really good.
So like, It's nothing to sneeze at. It's a 4 mid for 4 if in case you have to throw it as like a regular attack.
Under air as well. Or death. I really want somebody to try the Shadow Blade Shuriken. Tam won't do it for me.
Nope.
And he
I don't
won't.
think it's good.
And he won't try out Shadow Man either with the new stuff.
Nope.
And I think he's wrong, and I would like somebody to prove him wrong.
I would love for somebody to prove me wrong.
But I don't want to do it because Flash is kind of lame.
My eyeball hurts. Still.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it, right?
I think we're gonna be done with this topic. We got 2 more of these bad boys to hit, and it's like 1 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey. All right. Moving on to topic 3.
I'm off till Christmas Eve. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this week's episode of Study Hall. If you like this video a lot, go ahead and you can click on this one over here to see last week's video of Study Hall. This one over here is going to be a playlist of our past study halls that we've been doing, or any of our other past content. We're going to have another square, I think right over here. Tam's going to put it right there for me. If you're new to UFS and you don't know what we talked about this week, feel free to check that out if you're new and you want to get to know the game a little bit better. And if you want to support us, we brought it up before, go ahead and click on our Patreon. That link's going to be right over here next to me. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll hopefully see you next week.